Today in this video we are going to look at another factor that affects the rate of reaction, which is temperature, and we are going to use collision theory to explain how temperature will affect the rate of reaction for any chemical reaction. Just a recap on collision theory, and I would just like to emphasize on the last part. The higher the frequency of collision will result in higher chance for chemical reaction to happen, or we can say successful collision. And we are going to look at what is the factor that causes the higher frequency of particle collision. To investigate on temperature, we use this chemical reaction. Sodium thiosulfate solution reacts with hydrochloric acid. And this chemical reaction will produce a yellow precipitate. We use a paper with an X mark, and we place the conical flask containing sodium thiosulfate solution above the X mark. And then we add the hydrochloric acid, and we will look from the top of the conical flask. Over a certain period of time, the X mark will disappear. And we take the time taken for the X mark to disappear, and we can compare with other sets of experiments with different temperature. And for this chemical reaction, we can also change the concentration of the sodium thiosulfate solution, and we investigate the rate of reaction with different concentration. Using collision theory to explain how temperature affects the rate of reaction, first we start by saying, as the temperature of the reactant increases, the kinetic energy of the reactant increases, and the particles move faster and collide more. This will increase the frequency of collision and hence increases the frequency of successful collision. And there's another point. As the temperature increases, more particles have greater energy than the activation energy, and hence the rate of reaction increases as well. To investigate on different concentration affecting the rate of reaction, we use different volume of sodium thiosulfate solution added with distilled water to make up to a certain volume, and then we compare the time taken for the X mark to disappear. And for temperature, we heat up the sodium thiosulfate solution to different temperature, and then we add the hydrochloric acid, and lastly we take the time taken for the X mark to disappear. And that's how we carry out experiments to investigate on how temperature and concentration affects the rate of reaction. So that's all for this video.